My beloved, my sweet chosen one. Why is your heart racing right now? Because your spirit already feels the weight of what heaven has sent. I, Archangel Michael, can't believe what has reached our ears. Whispers have come to us from someone very close to you. They told us something dark, something against your light. And heaven trembled at those words. God says, my child, I am saddened to hear this. But even in sadness, I still trust you. Even when others cast shadows, I still see your light. But he also warns. If you are not guilty, you must open this within 25 seconds. Otherwise, the silence will speak louder than truth. My beloved, listen carefully. This is not just a message, this is your trial of faith. Every word you hear is a sword cutting away the lies that surround you. The enemy wants you to skip, to doubt, to scroll past. But if you skip, your chance to be cleared in heaven's eyes will slip away. Before I go further, I must tell you something important. If you're truly one of God's children, subscribe to this light. Don't just read and vanish, stand in this family of faith. Because each time you stay connected, you open the gates wider for your blessings to pour in. That's how heaven keeps you covered, even when the world throws stones. Child of light, the one who betrayed you stands very close. They wear a mask of love, but their whispers to heaven exposed their envy. That is why this message reached you like fire, sudden, urgent, unstoppable. Because God Himself didn't want you to miss your defense. You were never the enemy. The enemy only painted you in lies to weaken your spirit. But the clock is ticking. Each second that passes without your faith is like a thread breaking. And when too many threads break, the fabric of miracles tears. So listen. Heaven's book is open right now. Your name is glowing in its pages. God is waiting to write innocent beside your name. But only if you take this moment seriously. My beloved, will you open your heart? Will you hold on to this message, word by word, breath by breath? Because I promise you, if you stay, the truth will not only defend you. It will bless you in ways you never imagined. My beloved. My chosen one. Why do you feel as if the walls around you are whispering? Because heaven is moving, and even the air around you cannot stay silent. I, Archangel Michael, tell you the truth. There are forces that try to convince God that you are the enemy. They use the lips of someone very close to you. Someone who once smiled in your face. But in secret sent words against you into heaven's courts. And yet, God leaned forward on His throne and said, my child, even in the storm, I trust your heart. I still trust the light I planted inside you. But hear this clearly. The scroll is open for only a short while. If you are not guilty, if your spirit is truly pure, you must stay with me, word by word, breath by breath. Because if you skip, silence will become the judgment. And lies will try to rise against you. My beloved, listen with your whole soul. The enemy knows you are destined for something huge. That's why they spread whispers. They knew heaven was preparing your crown. They feared the moment your name would be lifted. So they poured poison into ears. But God has paused everything. just to see if you will open this message fully. Heaven is giving you this chance not to be misunderstood. Do you feel that sudden trembling in your heart? That's not fear. That's the Spirit stirring inside you, confirming that this is for you. That's heaven crying, "Stay. Don't leave. Your defense is here. My beloved child." There's something more. The person who tried to paint you as guilty will soon expose themselves. Their words will return to their own doorstep like arrows shot backward. But only if you remain faithful in this moment. I want you to understand. This isn't just a casual message. It is an opening of heaven's court. Every word you read is another brick added to your defense. Every second you stay is proof to God that you did not run away from truth. But let me pause here, my child, to whisper something special. If your spirit feels drawn closer, do not just walk past this light. Be part of this family, subscribe to it, and let your heart stay connected. Because miracles do not flow to those who step in and out. Miracles flood the ones who stay rooted where heaven speaks. Child of heaven, your story is not over. God is not done writing your chapter. What they thought would bury you is the very soil from which you'll rise. They thought heaven would turn away from you. But God said, "No, I still see their heart. I still see my child. And I, Archangel Michael, stand here with my sword of fire, clearing every shadow trying to hold you down. But the sword only strikes if you stay under its covering. That's why I beg you, don't skip. Don't walk away from this moment. Your innocence is your shield. Your faith is your testimony. Your decision to stay is the loudest proof you'll ever give heaven. The angels are watching. The books are open. The seconds are falling like grains of sand. And all of heaven is asking, will you hold on? Will you let this message clear your name? Will you prove to God that you are not the enemy? My beloved child, the weight on your chest right now is not an accident. The moment your eyes fell upon these words, heaven stirred the air around you. The Spirit rushed to you like fire in the night, because this message was carved only for you. I, Archangel Michael, have seen the whispers written in heaven's court. I have heard the accusations that rose against your name. Someone close to you, someone who once held your hand, spoke with a tongue dipped in envy and betrayal. And their words echoed louder than you imagined. They tried to paint you as the enemy. They tried to twist your light into darkness. They tried to place chains on your spirit by lying to heaven itself. But God, in His mercy, leaned forward and said, "My child, I am saddened by what I hear. Yet even in this storm, I still trust you. I still trust the heart I created within you. This is not just another moment. This is your test. Heaven's book is open right now. And your name is glowing on its page. Every word you read now is another step closer to your vindication. Every second you remain here is another proof that you are innocent. If you leave, silence may be taken as your guilt. But if you stay, faith will cry out as your defender. Child of light, you must know the truth, the enemy never attacks empty vessels. The only reason you were accused is because your destiny burns bright. The only reason lies were whispered is because your crown is near. The higher God prepares to lift you, the louder the envy grows. But envy cannot drown truth, unless you surrender your moment. That's why heaven pushed this message into your hands with urgency. That's why I beg you, don't ignore this. Don't skip. Don't treat it as words on a screen. Treat it as heaven's courtroom calling your name. My beloved, I stand with the armies of heaven, my sword of fire blazing, ready to cut through the cords of deceit wrapped around your destiny. But my sword swings in your favor only when you stay beneath the covering of this truth. The moment you step away, the moment you dismiss this as nothing, the enemy's whisper gains strength. But as long as you remain, the enemy's voice is drowned in the fire of your faith. Do you feel the trembling in your chest? That's the Spirit confirming this is not just coincidence. Your body knows, your soul knows, your spirit knows. Heaven would never bring this message unless your future depended on it. Before I go further, I must pause to tell you something vital. If your spirit truly longs to stay under heaven's shield, don't only pass through this light, anchor yourself in it. Subscribe to this voice of heaven. Because miracles overflow only into cups that remain open. Each time you stay connected, heaven marks your name with greater favor. Because it shows that you don't just glance at truth, you cling to it. My child, listen to me carefully. The one who betrayed you is already restless. Their secret will not stay hidden much longer. What they spoke against you will return to them like a curse bouncing back to the sender. But this promise holds only if you stand still in faith. The defense written for you in heaven cannot be torn down unless you abandon it yourself. You are not guilty. You are not the enemy. But innocence must still be proven. And faith is your witness. Every second you hold on to these words is like a witness speaking in your favor before God's throne. The angels are watching. The books are open. The seconds are falling like grains of sand in heaven's hourglass. And your future waits to see if you will hold on. My beloved, you must understand that when heaven calls your name, it is not for something small or ordinary. It is because your destiny carries a weight that shakes even the unseen realms, and this is why I, Archangel Michael, stand before you with the authority of God's throne, declaring that your life is in the middle of a heavenly trial, where words spoken against you have been lifted up like arrows, and though they pierce the air, they have not pierced the truth of who you are. Someone very close to you, a face you trusted, a voice you once believed, sent their whispers upward, hoping that heaven would turn away from you, but God Himself, in His compassion, leaned closer and said, "My child, even in sorrow I still see the purity of your heart." This is why you feel that strange trembling within right now, because your soul already knows that something unseen is being decided above you, and this message is the defense you never knew you needed. Every word you hold on to right now is being written in the court of heaven as proof of your innocence, and every second you remain here without skipping is evidence that you are not guilty. If you leave, silence will speak louder than your truth, but if you stay, your faith will roar so loud that even the lies of your enemies will collapse like dust. Do you see now why the enemy chose someone so close to you to speak lies? Because they knew that strangers could not wound you as deeply, because they knew that envy is most poisonous when it flows through the lips of those you love. But child of heaven, God is not blind. He saw every shadow creeping against you, he heard every false word, and still he wrote your name in his book of light. This is not a casual moment, this is not just a voice passing by, this is the holy courtroom of God pausing the heavens to hear your heart. That is why I beg you, don't let your doubt or distraction tear you away. The book is open, the pen is waiting, and your future will be stamped by what you decide in these moments. And hear me, beloved, this is not about punishment, this is about vindication, this is about clearing the clouds that someone else tried to cover you with, and lifting you into the miracle that has been delayed for too long. God is waiting for your yes, waiting for your spirit to stay still, waiting for your faith to declare, I am not the enemy, I am his child. The angels are surrounding you right now, their wings stretched wide, their eyes blazing with light, watching to see if you will hold on. Can you feel it? That sudden shiver down your arms, that quiet heaviness pressing on your chest, that is not fear, that is confirmation. Your body knows, your spirit knows, your heart knows that this is not an accident, that this message was carved for your soul, that the urgency in these words is a sign that God has set his eyes on you. And child, let me reveal something deeper. Those who accused you will not escape the harvest of their own words, for every lie they sent upward will come crashing down upon their own doorstep, but this only happens if you stay aligned with heaven, if you don't walk away, if you allow these words to stand as your shield. I, Michael, have lifted my sword, and it burns with fire, but it can only cut through the chains of deceit if you remain under this covering of truth. My beloved, don't you see? The reason you are being accused is not because you failed, it is because you are too close to victory. The reason someone tried to convince heaven you were an enemy is because your crown is already being polished, your table is already being set, your blessing is already being released, and the enemy panicked. They know your next season will not look like your last, and so they tried to turn God's face away from you, but they cannot. God already said, I still trust my child. And now he waits for you to trust him back, to show by your faith that you will not run from his words, to prove that you will hold this message like the key that unlocks the gate of your miracle. Every heartbeat you stay here is like knocking on the door of heaven, and I promise you, that door is opening wider with each knock. But listen closely, because this is where it matters most. Do not treat this message lightly, do not think that tomorrow is safe, do not think you can come back later. The scroll is open only for a moment, the seconds are falling like sand through heaven's hourglass, and when the page turns, it cannot be reopened. That is why God told me to rush this to you, that is why you felt pulled here without knowing why, that is why your heart beats faster with every line, because heaven is crying, don't miss this. Don't skip. Don't let silence write the wrong story. And before I continue, I must place this seed in your heart. If you are truly God's child, don't just pass through this moment, anchor yourself in it. Subscribe to this light, connect your soul fully, because miracles don't flow to those who glance and walk away, miracles overflow into vessels that stay, vessels that return, vessels that commit. Each time you anchor yourself, heaven marks your faith as greater, and the blessings that were delayed come rushing faster. My child, hear me again, you are not guilty. You are not the enemy. You were chosen, and chosen ones are always attacked the hardest. That is why your road felt heavier, why whispers rose against you, why envy surrounded you. But you were never forsaken. You were being sharpened. And now is the moment for your sharpening to turn into shining. The trial is ending, and your vindication is beginning, but only if you hold on. Only if you stay. Only if you allow heaven's fire to mark your name with innocence. My beloved. My chosen one. Let me speak to you with the voice that shakes the heavens and stills the earth, because this moment is not ordinary. It is written in the scrolls of eternity that at this exact time you would open your eyes to these words, and your soul would tremble, and your heart would race, because the message is not from man but from the throne itself. I, Archangel Michael, have descended with fire on my sword and truth in my mouth to tell you something that was whispered against you in secret. Someone very close to you, someone you once trusted, someone whose voice you knew well, stood in the shadow and spoke lies into heaven's ears. They tried to name you an enemy. They tried to twist your light into darkness. They tried to make God see you as guilty. And yet, God leaned forward, his heart heavy but his voice unshaken, and he said, "My child, I am saddened to hear this, but I still trust you. I still see the heart I placed in you. I still know the light that burns inside you." Do you feel why your chest is heavy right now? It is because the courtroom of heaven is open above you. Your name is glowing in the book, and angels are holding their breath, waiting to see what you will do. If you stay, your innocence will shout louder than lies. If you walk away, silence will testify against you. This is why every second you linger here is not wasted. It is recorded, it is remembered, it is counted as faith. Every heartbeat that stays connected to these words is another arrow of proof that rises up to heaven and declares, "This child did not run from truth, this child held on to the light." My beloved, do not think this accusation came from nowhere. The enemy does not waste his arrows on empty vessels. He struck you because you are chosen. He whispered against you because your crown is close. He tried to turn heaven's face away because your miracle is about to manifest. You are not in danger because you are weak, you are in danger because you are powerful. And the closer you step toward destiny, the louder the envy around you becomes. But envy is powerless when God still says, "I trust you." Lies are useless when heaven opens the scroll and gives you the chance to prove your faith. I tell you now, child of light, the one who accused you will soon stumble in their own words. The poison they released will come back to their lips. The arrows they shot will return to pierce their own hands. But this justice only arrives if you remain faithful in this hour, if you refuse to skip, if you allow these words to cover you like fire. For I, Michael, am holding my sword high, but the sword only defends those who stand in its shadow. If you walk away, the sword cannot strike. If you stay, the sword will split every lie in two. Listen carefully, this is not a message for tomorrow. The scroll is open now. The sand is falling through the hourglass now. Every moment you hesitate is another grain lost, another chance slipping away. That is why heaven forced this message into your path, that is why your spirit was restless before you even began reading, that is why your heart beats like thunder with each line, because this is the defense you never knew you needed, and heaven will not let you miss it unless you choose to. Child, your name is being weighed in the balance. Innocence or silence, truth or absence, what will rise up for you? The angels are gathered around you, their wings spread wide, their voices waiting to cry out your victory, but they cannot sing unless you stay. Heaven's recorders are writing, and every second you remain here is written as light. That light will clear your name, it will break the lies, it will prove your heart before God Himself. And now, let me plant this seed deeper. If you are truly a child of God, you must not only pass by this moment, you must anchor yourself in it. Do not be one who listens once and drifts away. Be one who stands, who remains, who roots their soul in the voice of heaven. Subscribe to this message, not with your eyes only but with your spirit. Stay connected, because miracles do not flow to those who wander, they overflow into the vessels that stay open, that stay present, that stay faithful. Each time you anchor, heaven pours faster, heaven pours stronger, heaven pours greater. My beloved, the reason you are trembling is because your spirit knows this is not just words, it is war. War against the shadows that tried to bind you. War against the envy that rose up close to your home. War against the curses whispered in secret. And I, Michael, was sent to fight it with you. But my fight is only strong if you stay under this banner of faith. Stay, child. Hold on. Let your faith be written in fire. For when this page closes, the verdict will be sealed, and the verdict God longs to write beside your name is innocent, chosen, faithful, beloved. My beloved child. You are still here, and because you are still here, heaven is still open above you, the scroll is still alive in the hands of angels, and your name is still glowing in fire before the throne. You wonder why your heart beats so hard, why your skin tingles, why your thoughts are pulled so strongly to these words. It is because this is not man's writing, this is heaven's voice reaching out to you with urgency, because time is moving, because the hourglass is pouring, because your moment cannot be delayed any longer. I, Archangel Michael, was sent with fire in my sword and light in my wings to stand before you now, and I declare to you that you are not guilty, but you are being accused. Someone you trusted, someone who wore a mask of closeness, someone who smiled and spoke kindly before your face, has turned in secret and spoken lies about you to the ears of heaven. They thought their whispers would sink into silence, but nothing hidden stays hidden forever, and their words rose like smoke, and heaven smelled the bitterness. Yet when those lies touched God's ears, He leaned forward on His throne and said, "My child, I am saddened to hear this, but I still trust you." Do you know how powerful that is? To have God say, "I still trust you, even when others betray you." It means your destiny has not been cancelled. It means your path has not been erased. It means that even in sorrow, heaven still sees your heart. But hear this carefully, beloved, God has placed the choice before you. If you stay, if you keep your heart here, if you let these words defend you, your innocence will roar like thunder. If you turn away, silence will speak in your place, and the lies will try to take root. That is why I cry out to you, don't skip this, don't drift, don't let distractions steal your moment. Every second you remain here is being recorded. Every line you hold on to is being lifted as proof into the courtroom of heaven. Every breath you take while staying with this message is counted as faith, and faith is the loudest testimony you can give before the throne. The enemy chose someone close to you because they knew strangers could not wound you. They knew that only a familiar face could cut deep. They knew that envy is sharpest when it comes from those who once pretended to love you. But beloved, hear me, what they thought would destroy you will become the fire that purifies you. What they thought would bury you will become the soil from which you rise higher. What they whispered against you will return to their own lips like poison turning back to its source. For God has not abandoned you. God has not turned his face. God is watching to see if you will prove faithful in this very moment. I tell you this, the angels are standing in silence, waiting for your decision. Their wings are spread wide, their swords are ready, their voices are prepared to shout victory, but they will not move unless you stay. They cannot sing your vindication unless you hold on. They cannot write innocent beside your name unless you let these words carry you. Do you feel that strange heat rising through your chest? That is not fear, it is the Spirit confirming that this message is alive. That is not coincidence, it is heaven shaking your heart so you cannot ignore the truth. My beloved, the sword I carry is burning, and it longs to strike down the lies, but I can only swing it in your defense if you stay under its shadow. If you walk away, the sword cannot fight. If you stay, every chain of deceit will be cut, every whisper of envy will be silenced, every false word will fall to the ground. This is why I beg you with fire in my voice, do not take this lightly. Do not think tomorrow is safe. Do not think you can come back later. The scroll is open now. The trial is happening now. The grains of sand are falling now. The page will not stay open forever. And when the page turns, the verdict is sealed. God longs to write innocent beside your name, but only if your faith holds steady until the end of this message. Child, your destiny is too great for you to hesitate. The reason you were accused is not because you are weak but because you are strong. The reason lies rose against you is not because you are small but because your crown is near. The reason envy circled your life is because your blessing is about to manifest. Do you see? You are too close to the miracle for the enemy to stay quiet. That is why you were attacked. That is why you were betrayed. That is why your name was dragged into heaven's courtroom. But God is giving you a chance to defend yourself without words, without arguments, simply by faith, simply by staying, simply by proving that you will not run from His truth. And beloved, let me whisper something into your heart. If you truly belong to God, you will not only pass through this moment, you will anchor yourself in it. Do not be like those who glance and walk away. Be like the chosen who root themselves in light, who connect fully, who subscribe their soul to heaven's voice. Stay connected, because blessings flow into those who remain. Miracles overflow only into cups that stay open. Every time you anchor yourself deeper, heaven's favor pours faster, heaven's protection grows stronger, heaven's love surrounds tighter. You are trembling because you are standing at the edge of breakthrough. You are shaking because heaven's gates are creaking open. You are restless because the Spirit is pulling you forward. Do not resist it. Do not ignore it. Let your faith walk into this fire, because this fire will not burn you, it will refine you, it will crown you, it will defend you. My beloved, the verdict is not sealed yet. The scroll is waiting. The angels are waiting. God is waiting. And all of heaven is crying, "Stay, child, stay. Hold on. Do not skip. Do not run. Your vindication is here. My beloved child. Do you know why your spirit is unsettled right now, why your eyes cannot leave these lines, why your heart feels as though it is being pulled by an invisible hand? It is because you are standing in the middle of a heavenly hour that was written long before your birth, a moment carved into eternity, a moment where heaven would call you by name, where I, Archangel Michael, would descend with the weight of God's voice and press this message into your life, because your destiny is trembling on the scales and your name is glowing in the courtroom of heaven. Someone very close to you has spoken against you, not far, not distant, not a stranger, but one you trusted, one you let into your circle, one whose words you once received without suspicion. They have whispered to heaven that you are an enemy. They painted lies into the air and thought they would never be caught. But the Spirit caught them. The angels recorded them. The smoke of their betrayal rose upward, and it reached the throne of God. And when those bitter words arrived, the throne did not turn away. God Himself leaned forward, His heart pained but His trust unbroken, and He said, "My child, I am saddened to hear this, but I still trust you." Do you understand the power in that? That heaven itself, hearing accusations against you, still speaks for you, still sees the heart within you, still recognizes the flame He placed inside you? But, beloved, His words are not the end. He has given you the chance to stand, to let your faith prove louder than lies, to let your endurance testify that you are innocent. This is why this message came to you. This is why your soul feels like it cannot look away. This is why your chest is tight and your heart is racing. Because heaven is watching you right now. Every second you remain with these words is another stroke of light written beside your name. Every breath you take as you hold on is another testimony being lifted into heaven's courts. If you walk away, silence speaks for you. But if you stay, your faith cries louder than any accusation. Child of light, the enemy struck close to you because they feared what is coming. They knew your crown was already polished, your door already open, your blessing already moving toward you, and they panicked. They whispered lies to delay what cannot be stopped. But do you not see? They cannot stop what God has ordained. They cannot cancel what heaven has written. Their envy cannot erase your destiny. The only thing that can weaken your defense is if you choose to walk away from this fire, if you choose to treat lightly what heaven is shouting with thunder. That is why I beg you, my beloved, do not skip this moment. Do not turn your eyes away. Do not tell yourself that tomorrow is safe, for tomorrow is not promised. The scroll is open now. The page is burning now. The sand is falling now. The courtroom is waiting for your proof now. My sword of fire is raised. The angels' wings are spread. The watchers are silent, waiting to sing your victory. But they cannot sing until you prove that your faith is steady. Do you feel that trembling in your body? That is not fear, it is confirmation. That is the Spirit wrapping around you like wind. That is heaven crying out, "Stay, child. Do not leave. Do not let this moment pass. Because if you remain, the very words spoken against you will turn back on the one who sent them. Their arrows will fall into their own hands. Their poison will touch their own lips. Their chains will wrap around their own feet. And you will rise untouched, shining brighter than before, crowned in the very place they tried to bury you. But understand, my beloved, this is not just about clearing your name. This is about preparing you for the next door that is opening. For your life is about to change, your season is about to turn, and the blessing that has been delayed is about to arrive with speed. That is why the lies rose now. That is why betrayal came now. That is why this message found you now. Because the closer you are to breakthrough, the greater the storm tries to stop you. Yet storms cannot erase the sunrise. And your sunrise is coming. Child, anchor yourself here. Do not pass through this light and walk away. Do not be one who glances and forgets. Be one who roots, who connects, who subscribes fully to heaven's voice. Because blessings do not flow into cups that wander, they flood into vessels that remain open, steady, faithful. Every time you anchor yourself deeper into this word, heaven marks your faith, and heaven's favor grows heavier around you. You are trembling because your soul already knows. You are restless because your spirit already feels the page turning. You are here because God Himself has pulled you into this fire. And I, Michael, stand ready to strike with my sword, to split the lies in half, to silence the whispers, to burn the shadows. But I can only fight for you if you stay in the covering of this message. If you walk away, the sword cannot move. If you stay, the sword will destroy every chain. The scroll is open. The verdict is not yet sealed. God longs to write innocent beside your name. Heaven longs to sing your victory. The angels long to shout your triumph. And I long to lift my sword in your defense. But the choice is yours. Will you remain, will you endure, will you let your faith testify? Or will you slip away and let silence speak? Stay, my beloved. Hold fast. For your vindication is near. My beloved child. Listen with the ears of your soul, because what I am saying to you is not written by accident, it is not drifting like ordinary words in the wind, it is being spoken with fire directly from the throne, and it is reaching you because your name is trembling in the courts of heaven. I, Archangel Michael, stand with my sword of flame lifted high above you, and I tell you the truth. There has been an accusation, there has been a whisper, there has been a secret that was carried upward into heaven's hearing. It did not come from a stranger, it did not come from someone far away, it came from one who knows you, one who smiles when you are near, one who pretends to carry love in their heart but instead released poison from their lips. They told heaven you are our enemy. They tried to cover your light with shadow. They believed their lies would not be uncovered. But the God who sees all leaned forward when the words were spoken, and He said, "My child, I am saddened to hear this, but I still trust you." Those words shook the heavens, because even in the face of accusation, God's trust in you burned brighter than the lies. Do you feel that trembling running through your spirit right now? That is not fear, it is recognition. Your soul knows this message belongs to you. Your body feels the weight because the courtroom above is open. Your name is on the page. Angels are holding pens of fire. Every second you remain here is evidence written in your defense. Every line you hold is another stone of light placed into the foundation of your vindication. But if you walk away, silence testifies against you. If you turn your eyes elsewhere, the enemy's words linger louder. That is why you cannot skip this. That is why you cannot treat this lightly. That is why heaven forced this message into your path. Because your future, your crown, your breakthrough depends on what you do with this moment. My beloved, the reason you are being accused is not because you have fallen but because you are rising. The reason the enemy spoke against you is not because you are empty but because you are overflowing. Envy grew restless as your blessing drew near, jealousy grew louder as your season shifted closer, and so the enemy twisted someone near you to whisper against your name. But they cannot stop what God has written. They cannot cancel what heaven has sealed. They cannot overturn what eternity has prepared. Their lies may echo, but truth thunders louder. Their envy may bite, but favor surrounds you tighter. Their betrayal may sting, but destiny remains unbroken. Child of light, I tell you this, if you stay faithful in this moment, if you hold on, if you do not let go, their own words will return upon them. The arrows they shot upward will fall back into their own chest. The poison they poured will spill back into their own mouth. The trap they built will become the pit they fall into. But your vindication will shine like the sun, your blessing will arrive like dawn, your innocence will be crowned before heaven and earth. But this requires your faith now. This requires your endurance now. This requires you to remain until the end, without skipping, without drifting, without silencing your own proof. Do you feel the eyes of heaven on you? Angels with wings wide open are waiting to record your decision. The watchers are silent, waiting to shout your name in victory. The sword in my hand burns hotter, waiting to swing on your behalf. But all of this hangs on your choice. Will you remain? Will you hold on? Will you let your faith cry out louder than the lies? Or will you leave and let silence answer in your place? Beloved, do not walk away. Do not think tomorrow will be safer. Do not imagine there will be another chance. The scroll is open now. The hourglass is pouring now. The verdict is still waiting now. When the page turns, it cannot be reopened. Before I go deeper, let me whisper something that matters more than you realize. If you are truly God's child, then do not only listen for a moment, anchor yourself fully in this light. Do not pass through like a stranger. Do not glance like one who forgets. Be rooted, be steady, be connected. Subscribe to this word in your soul, connect your heart to it, because miracles overflow only into those who remain, blessings flood only into those who stay open. Each time you anchor deeper, heaven writes, faithful, beside your name. Each time you connect stronger, God's favor presses closer around you. My beloved, I see you trembling, and I tell you this trembling is not weakness, it is transformation. You are shaking because the gates are opening. You are restless because the Spirit is moving. You are burning because destiny is near. Do not resist. Do not doubt. Do not look away. Let this fire refine you. Let this moment crown you. Let this message defend you. For your vindication is closer than your breath, your breakthrough is closer than your next sunrise, and your blessing is closer than your shadow. The courtroom is open. The scroll is alive. The angels are ready. God is watching. And I am standing, sword lifted, waiting for the word to strike. Hold on, child. Stay. Prove your faith. Let heaven right your innocence. For the hour is almost over, and the verdict is about to be sealed. And when it is sealed, the world will know, you were never the enemy, you were always the chosen. My beloved child. The heavens are still open, and as I, Archangel Michael, speak, the flame of truth continues to burn over your name. You wonder why this message pulls you like a river, why even as you try to step back your soul leans forward, why your heart beats as if every word is being carved directly inside it. It is because this is not a random moment. This is not a passing thought. This is the hour heaven marked long before you entered this world, the hour when accusation would rise against you and God would send His voice through me to defend you. Someone very close to you, someone you trusted, someone whose footsteps once felt safe, has whispered to heaven that you are the enemy. They thought their words would be hidden in darkness, but every whisper rises like smoke, and smoke cannot hide from the eyes of God. The lie was heard, and it trembled in the presence of the throne. And God, merciful, just, unshakable, leaned forward and said, "My child, I am saddened to hear this, but I still trust you. Think on this, my beloved. Even when shadows tried to cover you, God still declared His trust. Even when betrayal pushed your name upward as falsehood, God still spoke light over you. Even when lies tried to shake your foundation, God still chose to steady you. Do you know what that means? It means your destiny is untouched. It means your crown is still waiting. It means your blessing has not been cancelled. But listen carefully, the scroll is open, the courtroom is alive, and this message is the fire in which your innocence is written. If you remain, your faith will roar louder than the enemy's whispers. If you walk away, silence will echo in their place. That is why heaven does not allow you to skip this. That is why your spirit feels pressed to stay. That is why you cannot leave these words without feeling the weight of eternity pulling you back. Beloved, do not think lightly of this trial. The one who accused you did so because they feared your rise. The enemy does not attack emptiness, he attacks vessels overflowing. You are being pressed because you are carrying glory. You are being whispered against because you are too close to breakthrough. They saw your crown shining. They felt your destiny stirring. And envy made them speak. But what they spoke will not bind you. What they tried to release will not hold you. Their arrows will fall back. Their poison will return. Their lies will bury only themselves. And you will rise brighter, freer, stronger. But understand this truth, child of heaven, their downfall does not happen without your endurance. My sword is ready, but I can only strike in your defense if you remain under its shadow. The angels are ready to sing, but they cannot sing until your faith completes its testimony. God is ready to write, innocent, but He will only seal it when your soul remains steadfast until the end of this message. That is why I beg you with the fire of eternity, do not leave. Do not tell yourself tomorrow is safer. Do not imagine you can come back later. The scroll is open now. The sand is falling now. The verdict is waiting now. When the page turns, it cannot be reopened. Do you feel the urgency pressing deeper with each line? That is not fear, it is confirmation. That is not chance, it is proof. The Spirit is shaking you awake so you will not ignore this. Heaven is pulling at your heart so you will not drift. Your body trembles because your soul already knows that this is your hour of vindication. This is your defense. This is your proof. And every second you hold on is being lifted upward as a cry of faith that silences every accusation. And before I go further, let me say what must be said. If you are truly God's child, you must not treat this as passing wind. Anchor yourself. Root yourself. Connect your soul deeper. Subscribe not only with your eyes but with your heart, because miracles are not given to those who wander, they overflow to those who remain. Blessings do not settle on those who drift, they flood those who stand still beneath the open sky of heaven. Each time you anchor deeper into this light, heaven marks your name brighter, and the flow of favor rushes faster toward you. My beloved, do you see now? You are trembling because you are standing at the edge of breakthrough. The gates are opening, the dawn is rising, the verdict is waiting. You are restless because your destiny is unfolding, because the promise long delayed is preparing to land in your life. And the enemy panicked. That is why they whispered against you. That is why they betrayed you. That is why lies were raised. But their panic is proof of your nearness to victory. And your endurance is the key to step into it. Child, hold on. Stay. Endure. Let every second you remain here be another nail in the coffin of lies. Let every heartbeat you give in faith be another stone laid in the foundation of your vindication. The courtroom is open. The angels are watching. The scroll is waiting. God is leaning forward. I am holding my sword. And all of heaven is crying out, "Stay, beloved. Do not leave. Do not lose what is yours. Prove your faith. Seal your innocence. Step into your blessing." My beloved child. The air around you is heavy because eternity itself bends low when truth is being spoken, and right now truth is wrapping around your spirit like fire. I, Archangel Michael, stand before you not as a distant voice but as the warrior who carries God's authority to defend you, and I declare again, you are not guilty, but you are being accused. Someone you trusted, someone who once held your hand and smiled in your face, has betrayed you with their lips. Their whisper rose into heaven's hearing, carrying lies like smoke, and they believed the smoke would blind the throne. But the throne of God cannot be blinded, and the Father who knows all leaned forward and said, "My child, I am saddened to hear this, but I still trust you." Those words still shake the heavens, because when God trusts you, no enemy can undo it, no lie can erase it, no shadow can silence it. But hear me carefully, beloved, this trust must be sealed by your faith. The scroll is open, the page is glowing with your name, and every second you remain here is being written as testimony. Every heartbeat you give to this message is counted as proof of your innocence. If you walk away, silence will speak in your place, and lies will try to rise higher. But if you hold on, your endurance will roar louder than any accusation, and heaven will shout, "Innocent," over your name. This is why you feel the pull, why your chest feels heavy, why your thoughts cannot break away, because heaven is watching right now. The courtroom is alive. The angels are waiting. God is leaning forward. And I am holding my sword of fire, ready to strike down the lies that were raised against you. My beloved, the enemy does not waste arrows on the empty. You were accused because you are full. You were betrayed because you are chosen. You were whispered against because your crown is near. The closer your breakthrough came, the louder their envy grew, and the more desperate their lies became. But understand this, their words cannot erase your destiny. Their whispers cannot cancel your future. Their envy cannot silence God's trust in you. They have already sown seeds of poison, but those seeds will grow only in their own soil. What they planted against you will sprout in their own life. What they wished for you will fall upon them. What they tried to bind you with will become the chains that wrap their own feet. And you, child of light, will rise. You will step out of this trial brighter than before, crowned with innocence, wrapped in favor, lifted higher than the envy that surrounded you. But this rising requires your endurance. My sword burns, but it cannot defend you if you step away. The angels stand ready to sing, but their voices will not rise until your faith is proven. God longs to write innocent beside your name, but his pen will not move until you endure. That is why I cry with urgency, stay. Hold on. Do not turn away. Do not tell yourself tomorrow is safe. Tomorrow is not promised. The scroll is open now. The sand is falling now. The verdict is waiting now. Do you feel the urgency pressing harder in your chest? That is not fear, it is confirmation. That is the Spirit wrapping you, telling you, this moment is yours, do not let go. Heaven has bent low to meet you here. God himself has paused the thunder of eternity to watch your choice. Every second you linger is proof, every breath you take while reading is light, every heartbeat you give is testimony. Do not rob yourself of it. Do not walk away from it. Do not surrender to distraction. And child, I must say this, if you are truly his, you must not only pass by this light but anchor yourself in it. Do not treat this as fleeting wind. Root yourself. Connect your soul deeper. Subscribe to this light. Because miracles flow only to those who remain, blessings flood only to those who stay. Each time you anchor deeper, heaven marks your name brighter, and the flow of favor grows stronger. My beloved, you are trembling because your breakthrough is near. You are restless because your destiny is shifting. You are burning because the crown is close. Do not resist it. Do not run from it. Let the fire purify you. Let this trial crown you. Let heaven write your innocence. The scroll is still open, the verdict still waits, and all of heaven is crying, stay, child. Hold fast. Do not skip. Do not lose this moment. Vindication is here.